Hello there. Well, it's Friday again already. It's certainly been a very challenging week this week, hasn't it? Lots of ums and ahs and ifs and buts with all these new regulations, and certainly I think people in the choral world were worried that with these new restrictions that we might have to put the brakes on choral singing. But I understand that the Department of Culture and Science, I think that's what they're called, have confirmed that as long as risk assessments are taken and rehearsals are taken in church and really rehearsing for services, that it is okay to carry on with choir. So fingers crossed we're going to be able to keep going, certainly for the time being, unless things change and get even more draconian. It's also been a good week for us in the parish, because last Sunday, for the first time in the morning, we actually had a choir to sing, and it was really very fine, really good to do. The only problem that we've got now is that to keep with the social distancing, we're only allowed a certain number of singers each Sunday morning at the moment to fit into the choir stalls. So unfortunately that means that people have to sort of stand down, and we have to have a little bit of a rota system, which is a shame, but at the moment we can't see a way around it, and people are being very gracious and supportive of this. But it's just wonderful to get some music, some sung music going in the church. And in fact then next week, which is the 4th of October, we're going to start singing Choral Evensong again. We're having to rehearse on a Friday in the aisle, and we take up the whole of the aisle right the way to the entrance doors, and we're going to have to sing Evensong like that. So it's not ideal, and it's a bit tough, but on the plus side, although people can't even sit in voice parts, on the plus side it does make everyone listen a bit more closely, and hopefully will build up the confidence even more that way. But we'll see how it goes, and certainly it's better to do it that way than to do it not at all. So fantastic, we're very excited about that. So that's October the 4th is going to be our first Choral Evensong. And at the beginning of October, our morning service is going to move back from 11 o'clock to 10:30. So I must remember to tell everyone about that, apart from on here. Anyway, so some good news in times of adversity and frustration. But there we go. So we continue with the online services, and this coming Sunday there is an online service as usual, www.swanageteam.com. On Sunday morning in St Mary's, Solveig, our curate, will be celebrating for the first time, as she is to be priested, tomorrow morning in an ordination service at St Mary's. And we're going to sing some new contemporary music for her on Sunday morning. So the hymns on Sunday morning live will be different for once from the hymns online, if you see what I mean. So you get the choice of both. All right? Good. So for my choice of music today, I've been thinking about suggesting this piece for a while, and I've sort of held it back a little bit. But not that it's necessarily one of my very favourites, but I really love it. It's a piece by a composer called Basil Harwood. Basil Harwood sits in that sort of very English period of composers, Wesley, Stanford, Stainer, that's when he lived, Victorian composer, with the big bushy beard. He had a fairly ordinary childhood. He studied at Oxford, I believe. I think he went to Charterhouse. Maybe that's not ordinary then. And he went to Oxford. And he was organist of a London church in Pimlico, I think. And then he went to be organist of Ely Cathedral for 5 or 6 years. And from Ely he moved to Christ Church, Oxford, where he became the director of music, organist, whatever they called them in those days, for a number of years. And he was also the first conductor of the Oxford Bach Choir. So he was a very fine musician indeed. And as well as being a great performer, he was a good composer, and his music is really quite challenging. And there are two pieces which are in the cathedral repertoire very much. First of all, there's a setting of the Mag and Nunc, the Evening Canticles, in A flat, Harwood in A flat, which is well worth checking out. It's a piece I'd really like to do with the parish choir. It's maybe a little bit tricky, but I think we could probably manage it. So I hope in this next year we might be able to do Harwood in A flat. It's got a tenor or soprano solo in the middle, so we'll be looking for volunteers there. But the piece I want to get you to listen to today is a wonderful anthem that he wrote. He set the antiphon for All Saints' Day, and it's called "Oh How Glorious is the Kingdom." And it has the most exciting organ part. For amateur organists, you'd probably sort of go white if you looked at the copy. It's the opposite of white, actually. It's very black, lots of semiquavers. It's a lovely piece to play, but it's quite a tricky piece to play, quite virtuosic. But the chorus parts, the choral parts, are not too difficult, and it's really exciting. And the opening is very declamatory opening, "Oh, how glorious is the kingdom." And then there's a lovely melody following the Lamb, which you'll hear afterwards. Really very beautiful. So it's sort of sectional piece in a way, but it's very exciting, and it's a great piece. Again, I remember choristers, both when I sang it myself and when I taught it. It's a piece that choristers really love singing. It's just one of those really singable pieces. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to direct you to a recording which was made back in 1974. It's one of my most prized possessions, actually. It's a set of English anthems from King's Cambridge, and when the choir was under the direction of David Wilcox, 1974, I think. Yeah, and it's just called Anthems from King's. And I think my copy of it is almost worn through. Years ago, I used to listen to it all the time. It had all my faves on it. It's been remastered recently, and it's sort of a bit more fresh and vibrant. And it's it is the Wilcox sound. But I've given you a YouTube link to it. So have a listen, see what you think. I think it's a really exciting, super piece. And if you get the chance, listen to Harwood in A flat as well. Very, very tuneful. But see how you go, see what you think. All right, now I'm going to nip across the room here, all 2 foot, and we'll do some warm-ups. Here I am at the piano then, and are you ready for a couple of warm-up exercises? So just to remind you, if you're sitting down, nice straight back, feet on the floor, give yourself room to breathe. And if you're standing, feet shoulder width apart, don't lock your knees, nice and relaxed, head nice and square. And we're away. All right, so let's start today. Let's do some humming. Let's do something slightly different. We go like this. So this is the pattern. So we're going to go starting quite low in B flat. Okay, here we go. Just try opening your lips, put your tongue behind your top teeth and getting to so just a bit more nasal sound. One more. Okay, good. And now here's another one. Let's just go up a scale to mi and then ah, going like this. Mia, 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 mia. All right, here we go. 3, 4. Mia, 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 mia. And then we'll come down and we go we are, going we are, 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 going up to me and then down to we. Mia, 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 mia. We are, 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 we are. Next Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. One more. Mia, 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 Mia. We are, 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 we are. Excuse me while I cough. Good. Okay, I hope that worked for you. And now, just for a bit of dexterity, just a bit of fun, let's sing I'd Like a Cup of Tea, like this. I'd like a cup of tea, 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 cup of tea. Alright, try that. I'd like a cup of tea, 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 cup of tea. I'd like a cup of tea, 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 cup of tea. I'd like a cup of tea, 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 cup of tea. Now how about this, just for fun? Start there, and this time instead of cup of tea, let's do spicy curry. We go, I'd like a spicy curry, 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 spicy curry. I can't do it. Try. I'd like a spicy curry, 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 spicy curry. I can't do it. You do it. I'd like a spicy curry, 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 spicy curry. That was a pathetic attempt from me. But there we go. That was fun. Just something a bit different. So, I hope you have a good week this week. I'll see some of you this evening and over the weekend. Some of you I won't, sadly. But I wish you a prosperous week, a safe week. Keep your spirits up in these difficult times, and hopefully see you all soon.